6.500 personas asistieron y abarrotaron un estadio en Portland, en Maine, para ver a Bernie Sanders y a Troy Jackson, quien se postula para gobernador de Maine, y también para ver a Graham Planter, quien se quiere postular como senador de Maine. El público estaba de pie. Fue electrizante. Amigos, esto es parte de la lucha de Bernie Sanders, el tour contra la oligarquía, y este es exactamente el tipo de energía que se necesita dentro de Estados Unidos en este momento. Y lo mejor de todo esto es verlo en un año no electoral, verlo en un punto en el que la gente de verdad no tiene por qué interesarse tanto en las elecciones, y notar que ellos no quieren ya más a Donald Trump, no quieren estar más en este problema de la oligarquía, no quieren tener tantos republicanos dentro del gobierno. La verdad, me encanta que la gente esté abriendo los ojos y se dé cuenta de los errores políticos que se cometieron anteriormente. Y me encanta que el senador Bernie Sanders, Graham Planter y Troy Jackson verdaderamente están escuchando los problemas de las personas y quieren buscar soluciones, quieren buscar respuestas, y lo van a hacer. Solo tienes que escuchar cuando Bernie Sanders sube al escenario después de Troy Jackson. Troy Jackson es leñador y observa cuando él presenta a Bernie Sanders cómo reacciona la multitud. Mira el clip, por favor.
Please welcome my friend Senator Bernie Sanders.
Phil Scobie escribe: multitud en Portland, Maine, mientras el candidato al Senado de Estados Unidos, Graham Planter, sube al escenario. Aquí hay algunas otras fotos de lo que ocurrió. Ahora, déjame mostrarte cuando el senador Sanders subió al escenario. Mira el clip, por favor.
Thank you, Portland. In case you haven't noticed, there are a lot of people here tonight.
Este fue un mensaje demasiado poderoso del senador Bernie Sanders. Y ojalá este mensaje se mostrara en televisión nacional, ojalá los medios tradicionales cubrieran todo esto. Tristemente, este tipo de cosas no se transmiten en todos lados. Y de verdad, este es uno de los mejores discursos que yo he escuchado. Bernie Sanders siempre sorprende, siempre es buen orador y dice las cosas de una forma en la que yo al menos le creo. Observa lo claro, sencillo y poderoso que es todo su discurso. Pues claro, está hablando de las necesidades del pueblo, él lo entiende. Así que escucha lo que dice el senador Bernie Sanders justo aquí.
It is really an honor to be with you tonight and to tell you that in the last number of months I have traveled all over this country. We have been to 15 states, and now I can say from Maine to California. And a lot of states in between. And we've talked to over 300,000 people. And what I can tell you without any fear of contradiction is the American people do not want an oligarchic form of government. They do not want an authoritarian form of government. They do not want to live under a kleptocracy where a president gets rich by being president. And they sure as hell are sick and tired of the ongoing war of the rich against the working class of this country. This is an unprecedented and, in fact, dangerous moment in American history. And we have got to respond in an unprecedented way. And the way we respond is to build a kind of strong, progressive, grassroots movement, the likes of which this country has never seen. Now, the Trump playbook is not complicated. He does what demagogues historically have always done and are doing today. He's not the only one. And what they do is, in a nation and a world in trouble, where people are hurting, where people are saying, what's going on? Why am I struggling to put food on the table? Why am I struggling to pay for rent or child care or medical care? He says, I know the answer. And the answer is, it's them. It's that group of people, that minority, politically powerless group of people. They are the cause of all of your problems. Nothing new there. This has gone on. This is what demagogues have done forever. In Europe, it was Jews, it was gypsies. In this country, it's been the blacks, the gays, you name it. Always a powerless minority, and then you blame them for all of the problems. Now, I was, sadly, at Trump's inauguration. And I sat in the front row, not any further away than where you guys are. And what I saw on that day, something I'll never forget, standing right beside Trump, right behind him, were the three wealthiest people in this country. Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, and Mr. Zuckerberg. And then, sitting behind them, like 15 other billionaires that Trump had nominated to head up major federal agencies. And honestly, what I was thinking then, I'm not a great historian, but I really was thinking about American history, and I was thinking back to Abraham Lincoln in Gettysburg. And many of you remember that a few days after that terrible, terrible battle, that enormously important battle against slavery, when so many soldiers died, Abraham Lincoln, a few days later, goes to the battlefield. And he looks around him and he said, these men have not died in vain. And we have a vision of America that we're not going to give up on. And that vision is a government of the people. That is our vision. And when I was sitting there in the inaugural, looking at all of these billionaires, what I was thinking is their vision is very different. The Trump idea of government is a government of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, and we ain't going to let that happen.
Y luego, ¿qué tal esta parte del discurso del senador Bernie Sanders? Mira, por favor.
But I will tell you, and I tell you with some knowledge because I deal with these guys every day. These oligarchs lack that sense of humanity, that sense of empathy. I don't mean to, I don't like to attack people in a personal way. But what I will tell you is their goal, these are very smart people. They work very hard. But they believe that they are entitled. And I say this sincerely. Way back when we studied history as kids, remember what the American Revolution was about? It was taking on the divine rights of kings. Throughout Europe, you had all these guys, God gave me all of this money and all of this power. It was God given. These guys, trust me, believe that they have the right to rule, and democracy is an impediment to their success. They want it all. They want it all, and they don't care who they step on in order to get even more and more. You would think, look, everybody in this room, this arena, wants a good life. We all want money. We all want to live comfortably. That's kind of natural. But if you had $5 billion, you might think, hey, I did it. I got everything I'm ever going to need in my life. How many homes? You know, Zuckerberg, I think, has 11 homes in Palo Alto, California. Bezos has 14 homes. They got jet planes. They go up to outer space on there where they get bored, you know, and have a good day. When is enough enough? They are prepared to destroy Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the VA, in order to get more for themselves. And the reason is they are very religious people. But you know what their religion is? It's not the Sermon on the Mount. It's not do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Their religion is greed. And they worship on the altar of money. They want more and more and more, and they could care less about the implications of their greed. Love you too. So while the rich get richer, and we live in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, what's going on for ordinary people? Well, here's the reality, and you don't hear much about it. Today in America, 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, you all know what paycheck to paycheck is. Many of you are living paycheck to paycheck. I grew up in a family living paycheck to paycheck. I know what it's about. We have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major nation on earth. You know, I always get a kick. And many of my colleagues in the Senate, they say, we love America, love America. Well, if you love America, you love the children of America and the future of America. It's not just the kids, not just the children. We have the highest rate of senior poverty of almost any major country on earth. 22% of seniors in America today are trying to survive on $15,000 a year. I don't know how anybody, let alone a senior, survives on $15,000. Half of seniors trying to get by on $30,000 or less. We have a system, an economic system, which for the working class of this country is broken. How many people here think that our healthcare system is working? Well, it ain't. It is a broken, cruel, and dysfunctional system. The function of the current healthcare system is not to do what virtually every other major country does, and that is to provide healthcare to all as a human right. The function of this system is to make as much money for the drug companies and the insurance companies as it can. So you got a healthcare system which is broken. You got, in terms of our young people, a child care system. I don't know how it's doing here in Portland, but in Vermont, many places of the country, incredibly expensive, while child care workers are paid totally inadequate wages. We have an education system right now in which Trump and his friends basically want to destroy public education in America. We have teachers in rural areas in my state, and I expect in your state, starting off at $35,000, $40,000 a year. We got millions of young people can't afford to go to college because they don't want to leave school $50,000 or $100,000 in debt. You want to go to medical school, you're a working class kid, you want to go to medical school, you know what you're going to leave school in debt with? $500,000. So you got an economy that's working for the rich, you got a healthcare system that is broken, you got an education system that is broken, and you got a housing system that is totally broken. You know, I did some calculations. I'm not 100% sure of this. But it's, again, I said my family had no money, but we lived in a rent-controlled apartment. And I figured it out, given my dad's salary, we ended up paying about 18% of our income in housing, 18%. Does anybody here know anybody that's paying 18% today? The truth is that we got 20 million households that are paying 50% or more for housing. So if you're paying 50% for housing of your income, what the hell do you have left to spend on? You have nothing, right? So you got a housing system broken, educational system being really attacked right now, healthcare system broken. And everybody knows the importance of good quality food to stay healthy, right? Anyone go to the grocery store lately and try to buy decent quality food and see the price of that? So bottom line is, in the richest country in the history of the world, people on top never had it so good. And yet for the basic necessities of life, healthcare, education, food, housing, working families are struggling. Brothers and sisters, we need to do two things at this difficult moment in American history. Number one is we got to take on Trump every day of the week in every way we can. And it's not just taking them on economic issues. We got to end the absurd foreign policy that we have right now, which is spending billions of dollars to starve children in Gaza. And one of the reasons that I want Graham Plattner in the Senate with me is he will stand with me. No more money for the Israeli war machine that is destroying the people of Palestine.
Y eso es exactamente lo que está resonando por todo el país. Como lo escuchaste decir antes, desde California hasta Maine. Él ya ha hablado frente a más de 300.000 personas, sin contar las cientos de miles de vistas que han tenido mis videos en los que podemos escucharlo él hablar. Me encanta que la gente en los comentarios de mis videos dice que Bernie lo hace muy bien, que Bernie es un gran político, que Bernie hace las cosas excelente. La verdad, me encanta leer esos comentarios. Miren este clip, por favor.
Now, Susan Collins' charade is wearing thin. This is the easiest applause lines in these speeches. No one cares that you pretend to be remorseful as you sell out to lobbyists. No one cares while you sell out to corporations, and no one cares while you sell out to a president, who are all engineering the greatest redistribution of wealth from the working class to the ruling class in American history. Symbolic opposition does not reopen hospitals. Weak condemnations do not bring back Roe v. Wade. Selling out the same working class voters who've delivered mandate for change after mandate for change is not forgivable. A performative politics that enables the destruction of our way of life is disqualifying for the role of United States Senator. Maine deserves better than Susan Collins. And Maine deserves an alternative who is not at risk of being mistaken as being beholden to the same status quo that she is. I am running because it is time for change.
Miren esta ovación de pie que recibió Bernie Sanders cuando dijo que el gobierno de Estados Unidos debería de estar construyendo hospitales y no dando dinero para destruir hospitales dentro de Gaza. Miren por favor.
Our taxpayer dollars can build schools and hospitals in America, not bombs to destroy them in Gaza.
Aquí tenemos otro gran momento del discurso donde Graham Planter dice que a él le importan mucho más los comentarios de la gente trabajadora que los comentarios de los fondos de inversión. Mira por favor.
I believe that input from working people is far more important than input from someone who simply has money. I believe that we should not be settling for crumbs while billionaires eat the cookie we baked. I don't think that a CEO should have more of a voice than a union, and I don't think that private equity deserves more time with a senator than someone who works 2 jobs to get by. I do not believe these things, and I believe that the reason we are in the straits we are today is because that is what has happened. But it has happened because we let it. And the world that we live in today is not how it has to be. We can have a healthcare system that is not a mechanism of extracting wealth out of working Americans, but a guarantee for safety and health for all.
De nuevo, qué momentos tan buenos de estos discursos. Bernie Sanders lo hace muy bien. Tienen personas en Maine muy buenos candidatos al Senado y al Congreso dentro de Maine. Pero bueno, yo cumplí con mi misión, que es informarte como lo hago absolutamente todos los días. Como siempre te digo, para mí lo más importante es tu opinión y me encantaría que la pongas en los comentarios. Además, si te gusta el contenido de política estadounidense, te va a encantar suscribirte al canal, ya que subo videos todos los días. Mi nombre es José Alvarado, soy economista y estoy comprometido a informarte diariamente. Nos vemos en el siguiente video. Adiós.